is Hobonichi Week, my friends, and I am going to show you how I've been using my Hobonichi Weeks planner. I am timing this specifically because I know folks are starting to order them and getting them in the mail, perhaps, depending on when you're watching this. And if you're new to the Hobonichi Weeks, you might be looking for ideas for how to set up your weekly layouts. So I have this in a Chic Sparrow personal size traveler's notebook, and you can see it's not exactly sized to fit this. I just happened to have this cover when I bought this planner, and it fits pretty well. It has a little bit of room on the right side of the planner, and it is pretty much exactly flush with the top and bottom of the cover. They do make a weekly calendar cover and a weekly size folio, so if you are going to buy a Chic Sparrow specifically for the Hobonichi Weeks, that might be a better option for you. I also use these Tombow twin tone pastel markers. They have a thicker tip on one end and a very fine tip on the other end, so I really like using them. I also kind of marked out the rainbow order of the pens that I'm using, and I love using these as my little check boxes because it's very satisfying to fill them in and it looks like a rainbow. So when I am writing in this planner, I like to use the Zebra Sarasa Grand pen bodies with the Uniball 1 pigment gel refills on the inside. And I love the ink in those pens, so I swapped them into these slightly fancier gel pen bodies. And this is the one thing I don't like about these pens. The top of the clip goes above the rest of the pen, and so when I go to click it, sometimes I hurt my thumb. I have adjusted to this, however, so not the worst thing in the world, just kind of mildly annoying. Believe it or not, I did not plan to use the word mild in that last sentence, but this is the Zebra Mild Liner. Transitions real well into this. One end is a chisel tip, the other end is a pointy tip, and I like to use this to bring in a little color in my headings. That is the olive color. It's relatively new. And then I like to bring in the Tombow Fudenosuke for a little bit of brush lettering. This is the hard tip, and that's mostly what I use in this planner. And I do like to decorate with just some smaller stickers. I like using these washi die cuts that are really cute, and they make everything match because they're all similar colors. And then because it's a traveler's notebook, I can fit a couple things in here, which is cool. It has the heritage pockets, which are no longer available on Chic Sparrow's website. There's a dashboard in here that I also got from Chic Sparrow, as well as a Hobonichi pencil board that I don't use super often, but I've got it just in case. And then here's the planner. I put it on one of the middle elastics on here. And here's the main event. This is a 2022 Spring Start Liberty Fabrics Floral Hobonichi Weeks, and I have it on one of the middle elastics in this Chic Sparrow cover. It has little gold accents, which is really pretty. And then in the back there is a secretarial pocket in the cover. I just kind of shoved this little mini ruler in here. It's kind of sized perfectly for this. And this is where I put the sticker sheets that I like to use in my planner. And there's a bunch of stuff in there. Just kind of grab what I am in the mood for when I'm decorating the pages. So this is my work planner, and it has a lot of stuff in it that I can't show you, but I happened to be on vacation during this particular week and was not using it, and so I thought I would fill out kind of an example weekly spread. There are so many different ways to use this particular layout. I've seen loads of them. I watched a lot when I first bought this planner just to get some ideas, and this is what I do to plan out my week. One quick note about the paper. This is, I believe it's the cream Tomoe River paper, and so you can see right here that the left side is tinted pink. That's because I have a pink blotting sheet right behind it. It's blocking out plans from the previous week that are private, but it also helps if I want to turn a page, I can put it in between the pages, and that keeps the ink from transferring while it's still drying. I start out by highlighting along the top edge of the left column as well as part of the column on the right, just so I can kind of make my little headers up there. In the farthest left column, I write schedule, and this is with the 0.5 Uniball 1 refill. And there are these little dots that divide this into 3 that you can see right here, and I like to draw a line on the third on the right just to kind of block off this column. I use my little ruler for this. I love that those dots are really easy to line up and get the line pretty much perfect every time. And I like to use the pointy end of the mild liner to draw the line so that it matches. Next, I labeled a little column exercise. I'm pretty chill about keeping track of that, but I like to have a place to write down if I went for an especially long walk or did a long skate session or something like that I want to look back at. And then on the right side of the page, I label that whole section work tasks, and I use that as a kind of rolling to-do list that goes over the course of the entire week. So this is how I keep track of my schedule in this planner. I also use these Tombow twin tones to color code the different things on my schedule. So purple are work tasks for my job. And so the first thing I do is I make a dot so that it's color coded. And then I grab that 0.5 tip gel pen and I write the time. And then I use the very fine end of that same color to draw kind of a dividing line just for design purposes. And then I write whatever that meeting happens to be. I don't usually have more than 3 or 4 things in one day, so this tiny little box works really well for me. I don't feel like I'm wasting space, but somebody who has maybe appointments all day long might benefit from a vertical planner instead. And then I use yellow to color code things for my kid, either stuff that I need to remember to do for him or things that he has to go to that I have to bring him to because he's 6 and he doesn't drive yet. And then I use blue for general home tasks, personal stuff, family things that aren't kid specific. And then the fourth color that I use is green, and I use that to label creative work for me. So if I'm performing a show or I have a video that I'm working on or something like that, I will use green to label those. I do like having it color coded. I find that it makes it so at a glance I can see what's for my job and what's for my kid and all of that stuff. So this is really helpful for me. So now I'll show you how I set up my to-do list, and I leave the entire page on the right for this. And so the way that I divide this up is by project. So I usually won't write them all like I am right now to fill up the page as an example. I will carry over anything that I didn't finish from the week before, and then as new things pop up in my inbox, I add a heading for those. For example, if my boss asked me to do some sort of general task and I didn't have a particular project it was associated with, I add a little general tasks section at the bottom of the page. And I don't always need to leave as much room for that because most of the work I'm doing is project specific. And then it's time to start writing out the tasks for each of these projects. So I use the skinny end of the two-tone marker to draw a circle. I use circles instead of boxes. And then I use the thinner 0.38 Uniball one in the Sarasa Grand, and I write out what that task is. And so sometimes I do it like this where I draw the bubble and then I write the task, but if I am writing a lot of tasks in a row, I'll write all the tasks and then I'll draw all the bubbles. And I use the rainbow order that I set up in that little tray that I keep the markers in so that I know which order they go in, because I got really confused when I used to just keep them in a pile. If either a specific task or the whole project is due on a specific day, I write the due date over on the right side of the page, and then I will also write it on the left side on the day if it happens to be due this week. I don't usually carry over the due dates for the following weeks until I set those weeks up on Monday morning, but this way I can at least visually see that there is something I need to prioritize because it is due this week. If there's something big like a day off or somebody's birthday or something that I really need to remember, I will write it in brush lettering, and I only really do that when I don't need to have other things in the box because it does take up most of the space, but it's kind of nice to see at a glance that I have a day off. Look at that, woohoo! And then now I'm filling out the little exercise column over on the right side of the schedule, and like I mentioned earlier, this isn't something that is really strict or something that I focus on a ton in this planner, but if I went for a long walk, I want to look at that and go, look at that, look what I did. I'm very proud of it. I've been learning how to longboard for the last year or so, and so when I go out for a skate, I like to keep track of that, you know? It's kind of fun to get to see at a glance that I did something active that day because it kind of motivates me to do it more often. And now I'm going to add some stickers. Most of these are decorative, but some of them are also functional. So this sheet of cat stickers, I believe I got them from Jet Pens. They mark the days when I clean my cat's litter box so that when I'm trying to remember when was the last time I did that, I have visual representation, and also there are cute little cats on my planner, so that makes me smile. And then other than that, I just kind of decorate the pages. I try to mostly stick things in the corner. There's some stuff in Japanese that I can't read, so that usually ends up getting stickers on it. I like to leave room for actual planning. I don't usually use the weekends a ton, so I tend to put stickers on those and up in the corners where I know I'm not going to need that space for writing. So it needs to stay functional as a planner. I don't decorate it a ton, and I don't really like to fill in the blanks at the end of the week like I know some folks do, because I'm not going to get to enjoy that for very long. I don't tend to look back at the pages once I finish them at the end of the week. So this is something that is meant to be enjoyed during the week when I'm using it, just so it looks nice and pretty. This is a set of stickers by Swatelier, and I highly recommend that brand for this particular size of planner because their stickers are mostly really small, and so you can fit some things while also leaving space to write in your planner. It's not going to take up a ton of space like some of the larger stickers I have. These are some really cute little day of the week labels by Swatelier. I love the colors. They're especially nice in the fall, and I don't put them on every day of every week. I just kind of use them as a little accent and use it to cover up some of the stuff on the left-hand side that I don't really pay a ton of attention to. And they fit perfectly on this, so I think it looks really cute. It adds a little pop of color. I'll use it maybe 1 or 2 a week instead of putting the days on every single one. I think these also would be really good if you were using maybe a bullet journal where you were making your own spreads and you needed to label the days of the week. For me, it's just kind of a decorative thing that I'm using it for. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like as you start to fill in the rainbow circles on the work task list. And so obviously as I'm working and as I finish things, I grab the correct color, and it took a little bit of practice to figure out which of the colors was which. Some of them are pretty close together, but I got the hang of it after using them for a while. There are more markers in the Twin Tones pack. This is the pastels pack, I believe, than I am actually using, but I think this is just the right amount. I'm using 8 colors for this particular purpose, and I have the other ones if I need them, or if one of them runs out of ink or something like that. But look how satisfying this looks as you start to fill them in. It looks really colorful and really fun, and for me, it's part of why it's so nice to use a paper planner like this. It's really satisfying to see how much work I've done over the course of the week. The really busy weeks, sometimes I'll do a second column of tasks because I've filled in the whole left side, all down that left edge. And yeah, I don't know. I really like the process of putting this together. Yes, it takes a little bit of extra time, but this way it's really easy to visualize what I need to prioritize. And I did leave a couple open because I don't always finish everything, and those get transferred to the following week when either the end of Friday or the beginning of Monday hits. And that is the process of how I plan out my weeks using the Hobonichi Weeks planner. I hope that this was helpful or inspiring to you. I hope that you can pull a couple things from that might work for your particular process. And so, yeah, I really love how versatile this planner is. And I have tried bullet journaling in the past, but I've learned that I don't like drawing out the actual planners. So for me, this is kind of the best of both worlds. The planner, the weekly planner, is over on the left side, and then I have a full memo page over on the right to do to-do lists and tasks, and I just love it. So in the comments below, I would love to hear, what do you use for a planner? Are you getting a Hobonichi this year? I'm a spring start at the moment, so I don't think I'm going to buy anything this particular season, but in the spring I'm going to be up there and buying stuff. So make sure you're subscribed to see more content like this in the future. I've got some Hobonichi 5-year videos I'd love to share as well. Let me know if you'd like to see that. In the cards above, I'm going to link to my previous Hobonichi Weeks video where I did my monthly layout in case you would like to see that. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you next time.